Nerys Evans, the director of Cavendish Cymru and a former Plaid Cymru politician. Let's start with Nerys Evans, because I very much feel that we should. We've spent a lot of time focusing on what's happening in the Labour Party, and of course we should say Plaid stormed it in that poll, 30%. I'm assuming it must be a pretty exciting place to be involved with at the moment, Plaid Cymru.
Yeah, absolutely. And, let's look at the historic poll that we saw from ITV Cymru this week. For over 100 years, Labour have dominated Welsh politics. They're not even second in this poll. They're, a long way behind in third. So it is, quite a substantial poll that we've seen. And I think it's what we're seeing on the doorsteps in terms of people resonating with that message about public services, about the economy, and also that the current devolution settlement isn't working for Wales. So absolutely a good poll for Plaid Cymru. And also in terms of looking to the future, the percentage of 16 to 24-year-olds was even higher in terms of their support for Plaid and lower for Labour, and also up to 49-year-olds as well. So a challenge for Plaid now to build on that momentum. The speech we saw from Eluned Morgan this week was quite remarkable, admitting the lack of influence, admitting that the system's not working, that they're not being listened to, and the partnership in power just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
More and more people are aware of what's devolved, aware that it's a Labour government on both sides of the M4, and are seeing it's not as good as it gets. And I think, it's all to play for in terms of the Senedd election next year.
Nerys, just give us a sense of what's happening behind the scenes with Plaid, because it seems to me that the debate would be, right, look, do you just try and keep a lid on this, not get too carried away, there's a year to go, don't want to peak too early, or actually do you just make a, beat the drum, make a big song and make a lot of noise about it and just try and build momentum from it?
Yeah, it is one poll, but it does reflect a direction of travel. The last couple of polls of the last couple of months have shown a substantial increase in the support for Plaid. But what is remarkable is the people switching from Labour to Plaid. Labour have got a challenge in England, a threat from the left and a threat from the right in terms of reform, and they seem to be responding by lurching to the right in England in response. A third of people who voted Labour less than a year ago in the general election, according to this ITV Wales poll, are saying that they're now voting Plaid. So that is a clearer direction of travel, especially when Labour are clearly dominated by what's going on in Westminster and not really seeing what's happening in the devolved nations, which shows the issue they're in, and that's why people are, turning to Plaid.